Morning. I wanted to share with you a little bit more about what our next upcoming project is going to be for the month of May and potentially into June. So, we are so fortunate in North America to have access to such a beautiful landscape. And what I would like to do is spend some time collecting and gathering data and information related to different national lands within the United States. So, I've created this website that you're all going to have access to, and ultimately, this will be the housing space where all of your final projects are going to be showcased. So, a little bit more about national lands. Um, they're all managed and maintained by the US Department of the Interior. So you are going to become more familiar with what that group is, when the agency was established, and what the purpose is behind having national parks, national forests, and other conservation areas. So each page within this website contains some text around a national park, a nice picture, and a brief description of what that picture is or what it represents. We have national forests, again, following that same model, conservation areas, as you can see, uh, wildlife refuges, nice images here, and general wilderness areas that are also protected. So, what we're going to do is create information, reports, and videos, and kind of like a podcast approach for each of these locations throughout North America. And we're hopeful that each one of these eventually will be hyperlinked to a web page or a document or slideshow video that you've created. That way, as visitors come to this website, you'll have an authentic audience for the research and work that you've been doing. So, in our Google Classrooms, this is going to be assigned for both 7th and 8th graders. You're going to be working on this project. And your project is a really interesting approach to getting to know the lands of the United States. So, you're going to access two main resources: the Grolier Online Passport, which is your database, and the National Park Service. The database is organized through our school library, so you should be able to access it through our dashboard. And I'll have that login information for you as we get closer. But the project is broken down into a couple of parts. The first piece that we're going to do is the research phase, because honestly, until you know what it is you're talking about, you really have no leg to stand on as an authority. So, a lot of the skills that we've been developing and building on are all around this concept of research. So, this project is going to be a group project that you're basically going to do with one other person remotely. When we come together to formally assign these pieces, I would like everyone to take some time and learn a little bit about each one of these locations, and then tell me which one or ones you're most interested in doing your research and project about. So, you're going to use a website, one database, and one book, because I know that we can't really leave our homes at the moment. Ebooks are available through our school library, through the town library, as well as through Audible and other online resources. So you'll need to have access to these pieces so that you can take your notes appropriately. You and your partner are going to use the National Park website to access that website and the databases that you're going to use for your research. And The note-taking piece, this is really going to be the first formative assignment that I collect from you. Now, even though you're working as a partnership, both people still have to turn in this particular document. So you're going to tell me the name of the park or forest that you're researching, when it was opened, where it's located. For this, I'm looking for the state or the territory, along with the latitude and longitude. And for what is it famous for, I'm honestly looking for like 5 to 10 things, facts, important locations within that park, special things about that park that are only well known for that particular location, and the motivations for why someone would want to visit. And then 5 other miscellaneous interesting things about that park, too. So, this document that I just walked you through is going to be due on May 1st. And obviously, these boxes are designed to expand so that you can have more room to add in additional information. You have access to a rubric, and you're also going to have access to a checklist. And then after your research is complete, you're going to share your notes with me, and then I'll sign off right around here that says, yes, you are able to move forward. Okay. After May 1st, we're going to start our podcast scripting. Do not really consider worrying about what your podcast will look like or sound like. It's more important that you have a solid understanding of the park that you are researching and learning about. But just to go over the assignment, you have a podcast script, you have a recording that I'm going to have you create as a team. Further down on page 6 of this document is your grading expectation. So you've got your ones. Your 1 would be here, your 2, and your 3. And then you have your checklist to make sure that you have all pieces for your research that you need to have. So you're looking for having enough resources and information about your topic, a completed citation information for each resource that you've used. You took notes using the note-taking sheet above. Okay. Your organized tools, notes, created a script for your podcast. You've shared your concept with me before you start recording, then you've recorded it, and then you're going to be importing pictures. So further down is the location where you're going to kind of build out your script and what information I'm going to be looking for. And as soon as you have all of these pieces done, you're going to have this really beautiful, short 3 to 5 minute intro documentary to your particular national park. That video and the text of supporting research that you've collected will then be hyperlinked to each of these parks, depending upon which one you do, which will then be accessible for your broader audience. So, this is our large scale summative piece. This is what we're going to be working on after April vacation and through the month of May. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think we have a huge opportunity to get to know places that we really can't visit right now because of our COVID-19 quarantine. But that can't stop us from enjoying a few virtual tours of our national parks. So, this is what we have to look forward to. I'm excited to see what you guys are able to create in your partnerships. And I'm excited to see how our learning can be shared with a broader audience. So even though we're not in the same room, we're still connected. All right. Have a good day. This is what's coming up, and I can't wait for you to see.